Friday the 13th, and here we are, drinking, doing our Adventing. So, tonight, we'll open the beer, we'll open the wine, and then we'll talk a little bit about something that's going on tonight that I'm pretty excited about, pretty crazy about.
That we have to, like, wrap this up so that we can do. So you may not be able to participate, but there are other instances in which you will be able to, so.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about a movie from our top 10 tonight, but we'll talk about Joe Bob Briggs and his special on Shudder tonight.
Yeah.
So, alright, here we go.
I'm going to go for the wine. This box.
It's seen better days. We got holes in it and shit.
Pinot Grigio.
We liked it the first time, didn't we? Alright. I can't remember.
It smells pretty much like Welch's white grape juice. I'm not gonna lie. Which if it tasted like that, I know.
Sounds pretty good. I haven't had that since I was like a kid.
Oh, it's so good, right?
Yeah, that sounds real good.
I know, Welch's white grape juice.
I really like the cran grape.
Open the beer.
13th. It's one of those Bockers. German style lager. Bocker beer is crafted from untouched pure water sourced from a natural spring. Sounds pretty good. Nice and refreshing. Woo!
Uh-oh. Somebody's getting sassy.
So to quiet these dogs, she's going to get the treats out. I'm going to talk about Joe Bob. So there are two things I was obsessed with in the 90s. Movie related. The first one was Mystery Science Theater 3000, which was riff tracks basically. They would watch shitty movies. It was like a robot. Two robots and a guy stuck in space. They would watch movies and riff on it.
Which I, too, was obsessed with.
Yeah, really good.
And a lot of other people were. Everybody loved Mystery Science Theater 3000.
And then another thing I was obsessed with, both these things were canceled around the same time.
Really?
In late 90s. Was this guy, Joe Bob Briggs. And he had this show called Monster Vision on TNT. And it was so fucking good. Instead of making fun of the movie during the movie, as Mystery Science Theater does, they would break for commercials, and before the commercial and after the commercial, Joe Bob would get on there and sort of give his spin. He would usually give like a hot take, just some rant he would go on that was always off topic but hilarious, somewhat on, I would say on brand but off topic. And then he would talk about the movie. And he always had this like sort of rundown. He still does this. In this rundown, he would give you like how many breasts were in there and how many dead bodies, how many car chases would crash and burn. And then he would have more ridiculous things like aardvarking, which was a euphemism for sex. And he would have various kinds of food.
So whatever the kind of death, it's like pig Latin. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, whatever method the person gets murdered in, so it's like knife foo or...
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's
or,
funny.
you know,
like,
jackrabbit foo.
Yeah, meat is like...
Meat cleaver foo.
Meat cleaver foo or meat grinder foo. Stuff like that. And both Mystery Science Theater and Joe Bob came back in the last couple of years, made huge comebacks, and I guess 90s nostalgia and whatnot. But
Doc Martens are back in.
Yeah.
So the 90s nostalgia
Doc Martens since then, pretty much.
Yeah.
I never stopped wearing them.
Well, 20-year-olds have never worn them.
Anyway, 90s nostalgia. So he's back tonight, and he's got his own series on Shudder, where like every week at the beginning of the year, usually he'll do 2 movies, and he does his little dog and pony show, and then he does 2 marathons a year too. This last one was Halloween, and now he's doing one for Christmas. But sometimes he'll do one for like in the middle of summer, and sometimes he'll do one for Thanksgiving. It's just sort of all over the place, but they're fantastic, and I highly recommend them. So it's on Shudder after tonight, after the live event. They'll put those on Shudder, and I highly recommend them.
So there was like a countdown earlier to
There's a Ghoul Log.
Black Christmas, right?
Yeah, so
a
tonight,
Canadian film, so...
They keep what's playing sort of under wraps. And the first movie is Black Christmas, and once we finish up here, I'm going to definitely watch that, and whatever his other 2 movies are, while we enjoy our delicious beverage. Alright.
I'm going to open the chocolate first. Mascarpone truffle is the chocolate. I'm going to eat it.
Herb de Gouda.
What an herb this year.
Another sort of funny story about Joe Bob is a few years ago, we went to a film festival in Brown County, Indiana. They had a bunch of movies from 1984 and they were playing, and we went to Repo Man. And
Just a great movie.
Yeah, which is a top 10 movie for sure, of all time for me. It doesn't get any better than, as far as punk, alien abduction, car repossession movies for sure. We're out there waiting for the movie to start. And there's a guy in a bolo tie, and I look over at her, and I was like, I think this is like this guy named Joe Bob Briggs. This is maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, way before the Joe Bob mania took back over.
And I'm not from Indiana, so I had no idea who Joe Bob was.
He was national.
Well...
She didn't know me back then, apparently, obviously. But I was like geeking out. I was like, I think this is this guy Joe Bob Briggs from like TNT when I was a child or whatever, when I was an adolescent. And Rachel was just sort of like, why the fuck would he be here? And I was like, that's a very good question. And then we go in, and he introduces the movie and gave his little rundown, like number of breaths and number of kills and all the foods and so forth. Harry Dean gave an drive-in Academy Award for Harry Dean Stanton, my surrogate grandfather. And yeah, it was
And then, like a couple years ago, we're watching, so he comes back on Shudder, and we're watching, and I don't even remember what film he was showing. But he told this story about going to this playhouse in Nashville, Indiana, and what did he say?
He was like, he's like, I've been, there was an actor from Nashville, and he's like, I've been to Nashville, Indiana, actually. It's like one of those places where you go and you buy a handmade knife and a lot of fudge in Nashville.
Yeah, so.
Gourmet popcorn.
Don't think he said gourmet popcorn, but it was fudge. Yeah. So then we geeked out about that.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep it short and sweet tonight because we're gonna get back to Joe Bob.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's cheers to Joe Bob.
To Joe Bob.